Hello everyone. So we shall be starting with our current affairs for September 19th, okay, 2025. Yes, today's themes are very important, okay, for the prelims as well as the mains examination. So chalo shuru karte hain. Okay. Now, see, in the mains examination, a general theme is the reforms of United Nations. All right, should we make it more representative? Should there be veto powers? Because we have only five permanent members. All right, now India and other countries, okay, to have equitable distribution across representation across the continents. All right, in the South Asian region, they don't have any representation. What about the African countries? Because they are highly populous and they are fast developing countries. All right, in order to have a greater say, there are demand that United Nations, the global institutions, should also represent the contemporary trends to make themselves relevant. But in this context, United Nations had come out with what is called a United Nations 80 initiative. All right, celebrating 80 years of United Nations. As simple as that. All right. So under what are the main objectives of United Nations UN 80 initiative? To have to streamline the operation, to sharpen the impact, reaffirm United Nations relevance for a rapidly changing world. All right. To focus largely on the internal inefficiency of that of United Nations, मतलब secretarial work ले लो, okay, या coordination, और if there is any overlapping of institutions, हाँ उसको कैसे merge करना है, तो कैसे streamline करना है, so that they can become more and more efficient. So it is focused on improving internal efficiency and to review, examine thousands of mandate documents underpinning United Nations Secretariat work, and to whether structural changes, okay, has to be needed across the United Nations system. And apart from this there are several reforms that the United Nations has to happen, and the important areas you can talk about: prevention, peacekeeping, and also peace building. Why is that? Despite all the measures, Israel was able to attack almost all the six neighboring countries. Why is that? United Nations could not stop America attacking Afghanistan, bombing Afghanistan or Iran. All right, so we need to modernize the peacekeeping missions. They have to be better equipped. Okay, and should be it should focus on prevention of conflicts by investing more and more on talks, diplomacies, mediations. All right, see, when the mediation was going on regarding the hostages caught by the Israel, sorry, the Hamas. Okay, Israel bombed even the mediation, the people who were mediating. All right, and address root causes like inequality and the poor governance. Okay, and apart from this, encourage countries to voluntarily contribute more to the peacekeeping workforce, and then देखिए simplify the bureaucracy by by streamlining the process, strengthen internal oversight, modernize, ensure that more balanced and diverse representation from different countries, and adopt e-governance and based on result-based management. All right, a general things, but we should read it once. Okay, now, sir, it calls for fewer, okay, fewer silos, less duplication and more effective collaboration. Sir, इसका report का नाम है Shifting Paradigm, United to Deliver report. Again, it is a very enriching document to have more information for the mains examination, especially essay, because this is an thing which it's a repetitive theme and high likelihood that UPSC will ask this. Okay, it aims to ensure that all reforms are undertaken in accordance with rules and procedures. And proposals include consolidating towards the peace and security, consolidating the officers and the leadership, enhance more participation of women, make it more and more gender friendly. And there are several multiple offices of United Nations. Okay, why can't we go for merging? All right, why can't we create a joint knowledge hub for to get learn from the different experiences from different countries, and establishing a human rights group, because human rights violations हो रहा है. What is the Human Rights Council of United Nations doing? All right, so to make its activities more and more more and more result oriented. All right, and for that matter, launch a new humanitarian compact to cut the bureaucracy, reduce the red tapeism. All right, so reform is a buzzword. all right, to to deliver the services efficiently. All right, and for that matter, this is not a one-off shot. It has to be a continuous process. All right. Then comes World Meteorological Organization releases a report on state of global water resources 2024. World WMO is again United Nations agency, specialized agency. Now, before rushing into this, just look at what is the global distribution of water. देखिए ये this image is from NCRT. Okay, not to worry. Okay, among all the waters here, 96%, 97% is the saline water, and only 2.5% is the fresh water. And among the fresh water, the glaciers constitute nearly 70%. Then 30% is the groundwater, and remaining is the surface water. Then वो surface water में कितना देखिए, वो surface water में groundwater, lakes, okay, and in the form of soil moisture, in the form of rivers, in the form of in atmosphere, okay, in the form of clouds, all these are present. Okay, and believe me, UPSC has repeatedly asked this question. Repeatedly asked this question. Okay, and you need to, for the mains examination, a rough picture of this you should be able to draw because these are based on pure facts. Now they see something called water cycle. Water cycle, that is evaporation, condensation, precipitation. All right, this cycle is a natural process, right? But the issue comes the issue comes that because of increasing climate change, see this picture is again from United Nations Environment Protection Agency, okay, very authoritative document. So you can refer this. Okay, you can go through the website. All right. Now, so because in the western, in the some of the regions, it can there can be complete change because of global warming, because of climate change. This water cycle can get completely disrupted because as the temperature increases, the air also will be able to hold more and more moisture. Okay, and heat trapped by osmosis, the increased temperature also causes more and more evaporation and precipitation, because of which the monsoon can become erratic. So, increased evaporation, increased water usage by the plants, increased water usage by the industries and the homes. Okay, so this decrease in the lake, lake ice, increase potential evaporation and water temperature overall. Okay, and severe droughts between the rains. So water cycle can become abrupt, and in fact, water cycle has become increasingly erratic and extreme. Is the one of the important highlight of the report. And see here, glaciers are also continuously melting. All right, and erratic water cycle. So discuss the and see here, this is leading to extreme weather events, unusual heavy rainfall in Africa's tropical region. Cyclones are becoming extreme. Okay, okay, what about your disaster preparedness? Okay, what about the disaster resilience? Okay, what is whether are we sustainable, or are we developing in a sustainable way? What about sustainable development goals? Okay, are we meeting the targets properly? Is the area that we need to ponder. All right, so very important for the mains, and because it involves sort of facts and analysis both. All right, then, sir, let us look at what you mean by marginalized and vulnerable communities. Sir, marginalized communities मतलब मान लो LGBT, मान लो women, मान लो person with disabilities, indigenous peoples, the elderly, the people with low literacy. These are the marginalized people. Now, has the Constitution spoken anything regarding access to justice for these people? Yes, definitely. See, our Chief Justice, and it is a repetitive theme by most of the Chief Justices. Okay, they say that Constitution has given Article 14, Article 21, Article 14, right to equality, right to life, and free legal aid introduced through 42nd Constitutional Amendment. Okay, it guarantees citizens right to access justice. Towards this, sir, what are the things that we have done? Okay, we have done. Okay, National Mission for Judicial Delivery. Okay, National Legal Service Authority. Again, very very important. Okay, 1976 में 1976 में Indira Gandhi introduced 42nd Amendment. Okay, that is 39A article. Now उसका बेटा introduced Legal Service Authority Act. Okay, there has to be National Legal Service Authority, there has to be NALSA, there has to be State Legal Service Authority. This is headed by Chief Justice of India. This is headed by Chief Justice of State. All right, and there has to be district legal service authorities. They have to conduct They have to conduct regular lok adalats throughout India. Okay, a retired judge, okay, an empaneled judge, okay, an expert in judicial service who is authorized by the court. They will adjudicate the cases, and in the beginning it will be literally free of cost. Matlab, okay, you have to pay certain large money. If you accept the verdict, they will give you back the money. Else, they will not return. This is to ensure that people do not use this only just as a platform for non-serious things. Okay, simply it will accelerate the judicially already spending burden. Now, apart from this, what are the other barriers that we can talk? Okay, yes, the poor people face several barriers, right? Okay, several barriers. For example, we can talk about the financial barriers. All right, देखिए, okay. You can talk about financial barriers. For example, what about the cost of legal representation is very high. All right, court fees is also high, and indirect costs such as transportation. Okay, and you need to leave your work on that particular day, and for that matter, economic power. While facing a well-resourced opponent, okay, such as government or large corporation, okay, there is already a power disparity. All right, especially if there is a large mining company which want to take over your land. Okay, you have to fight against a very well-off lawyers, right? Okay, so uh, how can we make our judicial system more and more friendly, increase the number of judges, provide better facilities? All right, and the last discussion also we had, India has only 15 judges. Sorry, India has only 21 judges for every 1 million population, whereas USA has 150. It is subpar, right? Okay, so what are the various barriers to access to justice? Just now, there is psychological barrier, there is social barriers. Then people tend to avoid. Okay, uh, even if they have a winnable case, they don't want to pursue. Okay, because anyway, court will take time, court will take a lot of money, and a sense of defeatism. All right, so and apart from this, we have problem of strict evidence rules. All right, because even if I am subject to sexual harassment, okay, I can't come and tell, okay, without proper proof. Okay, so and lack of legal awareness, legal this is called legal illiteracy. All right. And for that matter, there is also problem of stigmatization. Stigmatization. Matlab, if I am sexually harassed, okay, going to the court, all right, and court making it public because it will, create again my social boycott can be there. All right. Then so these are some of the issues which are, so as such in Supreme Court alone, 88,000 cases are pending already. So very, 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 very important. ओके सर, इसके लिए क्या कर सकते हैं हम? इसके लिए और बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं। देखिए, बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं। देखिए। All right, simplify the legal aid. Okay, simplify the procedure, make it online, and promote alternate dispute resolution. All right. Apart from court, are there any other mechanisms? There is something called reconciliation. There is mediation, arbitration. Yes, you should be knowing this, and promote. Invest in community paralegals. All right. In rural areas, people don't know their rights. Also, even if it is violated, they simply keep quiet. Okay, and ensure that the discriminatory laws are also properly reformed and develop user-friendly technologies. All right, nowadays you can see the in-house, the proceedings of the courts. All right, and pro bono services. मतलब pro bono मतलब lawyers registered themselves for providing free legal aid. Okay, there are Umang app. All right, unified mobile application for good governance. Umang app is also there, where if I'm a lawyer, I can I can volunteer myself to fight a particular case. Okay, in this way, we can increase, deepen public service delivery. That is the lawyer, as a lawyer. All right, then, sir, protection of women from domestic violence. Sir, it is a landmark act to protect domestic violence. All right, sir, domestic violence, it is highly broad based. It need not be only physical. It can be verbal, it can be emotional. And, sir, domestic violence, matlab, it has given a wider meaning. This is very, 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 very important. And it should need not be only between husband and wife. It can be from a mother-in-law, it can be from, a daughter-in-law, or it can be son, children, anyone if you are in a particular relationship. Now, apart from this, if I am abused to a abused in my family, then the government can give you a particular shelter where you can stay. And very importantly, you should note here, this is not a criminal offense. It is a civil offense. Matlab, you will not be go to jail, but you can be given a restricted order. You can be forced not to enter into the house. Okay, the husband can be asked to not enter into the house, or female can be shifted elsewhere. All right, this is just to ensure that soon after filing domestic violence, the relationship does not go till divorce. All right, and why this is important? Because okay, the crime in India report filed by National Crime Records Bureau says that nearly 4.5 lakhs crime against women. Okay, with majority of crimes is by cruelty by husband or their relatives. All right. So accordingly, nowadays more and more women are also coming, but still there is problem of victim blaming. All right. Or for that matter, economic dependence on the abusers play a significant role. Many people don't file because I am under the economic shelter of another person. All right. And for that matter, low conviction rate. अगर husband के ऊपर हम they given if they give the complaint, the conviction will chances are very low. And lack of awareness among women what constitutes violence, and more importantly insensitivity on the part of police officers also. Okay, they, despite having, despite giving complaint, they'll go for, why are you taking the law into your own hands? Chalne do. Okay, this is what happened in the recent UP case. All right, and where there was, there was, she tried to commit suicide by putting kerosene herself. All right. So the aggrieved woman can seek various type. For example, she can say, "Sir, I want to provide, give me a separate place where I can stay." All right, that is residence order, or for that matter, give me some type of monetary relief or shelter, etc., medical facilities, etc. All right, but sir, it is also having, it's a double-edged sword. There is increase in the number of, false cases as well. All right. Then, आप इसको भारतीय नारी शक्ति अभियान, अधिनियम. All right. You can talk about sustainable development goals, right to equality. All right to access, judiciary access. Okay. और for that matter, women empowerment में ये सब चीज लिख सकते हैं. ठीक है. बहुत सारे लॉस है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, पोस्को एक्ट ले लो, पॉश एक्ट ले लो, विशा का जजमेंट ले लो. ऑल राइट, और इंडिसेंट रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ वुमेन ले लो, इमोरल ट्रैफिकिंग ऑफ वुमेन ले लो. ओके, हाँ, आर्टिकल 14 भी लिख सकते हैं, आर्टिकल 21 भी लिख सकते हैं. ठीक है. देन सर, पाकिस्तान एंड सऊदी अरेबिया, वेरी 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 इंपॉर्टेंट. आप देखते रहो, देखते रहिए. ओके, इधर आता है पाकिस्तान. ठीक है, इधर आता है पाकिस्तान. ओके, क्योंकि अगर आपको ये मैप थोड़ा सा रफ आइडिया है ना, ये मैप रफ थोड़ा सा आइडिया है ना. हाँ, देखिए देखिए देखिए. ठीक है, रफ मैप ले लो. राइट नाउ, सऊदी अरेबिया समवेयर हियर. All right, so there is somewhere here. Here is our strategic Chahabhar port, which we will discuss, in next few minutes. Now, so this Saudi Arabia, all right, it feels that, Pakistan, in the entire Islamic world, Pakistan is the only nuclear-powered country which has an active nuclear program. Now, what if Israel attacks Saudi Arabia as well? All right, so Saudi Arabia will not be having any protection like the way America did not protect Qatar. So let Pakistan provide be the provider of a net security in the region. मतलब अगर if Pakistan is entering, मान लो China is also entering into the region. Very, very important. So it can shift the the power balance in this particular region. All right. And more importantly, if in future, if any conflict happens between India and Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, on whom we depend a large extent on in terms of remittance, in terms of crude oil. All right, crude oil. Okay, and India, is having trade deficit with Saudi Arabia of up to 42.9 billion. All right, and it is one of the fifth largest trading partner. All right, India receives huge amount of its remittance also. So Saudi Arabia, okay, might tilt its favor. Okay, this is a huge policy shift. Right, this is a huge policy shift. Okay, expect even if there is no direct questions. Okay, you can definitely add some good insights on your international relation analysis. All right. So it signifies moves away from the traditional role. Earlier, US was the security guarantor. For example, NATO. Okay, NATO के अंदर US is the main power, provider of security. Okay, now Pakistan is providing the security. So it shows Pakistan as a more influential country. All right. So see here, Pakistan may see pact as a strategic deterrence against India. All right. Now, अगर Operation Sindoor launch किया ना, Pakistan will say, please condemn. Pakistan will say to Saudi Arabia to condemn India. All right. So we need to be very careful. All right. Now, then again, Let us show you the 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 Chabahar port, this Chabahar port is there. No, it has very great strategic significance. And in our earlier videos, we have discussed also about international north-south corridor, international north-south trade corridor. It passes somewhere like this. All right. Okay. It is from India. All right. It's from India till St. Petersburg in Russia. All right. Now, through this Chabahar port, see, Chabahar port was conceptualized in 1980s, but it became operational very recently. All right. India will have direct access to Iran and all the Central Asian countries, including Afghanistan, because through going via Pakistan is, technically, it would be very difficult given the relationships that we have. Now, it seems that America is now trying to put sanctions on India for having ties with Iran. That is also very important thing, and you need to know the location that Gwadar port. Okay, Gwadar port is in Pakistan. All right, here is the Pakistan China. Okay, economic corridor, and here is the Kandla port, and this port, Chabahar port, is the closest point. All right. And in terms of war, this also can play a very critical role in keeping an observation, a check on Pakistan's rising significance. All right. Now, yes, India's construction had already started, and India had granted certain contract to India Ports Global Limited Company, okay, to run for 10 years. But now it is facing American sanction. Important, but it's a repetitive aspect. Now comes AI, artificial intelligence, and India. Impact Summit 2026. It is not important, but super duper important. In this, why? Because India became the first global South country, because Bangalore alone is emerging as a AI capital of India. All right, and Bangalore has several, I think I have told you in the previous video also, global capability centers are there. 800 global capability centers are there. Okay. Now, what are these? For that, all these things you need to refer the earlier videos, gentlemen. Now, in this, seven themes were discussed. Okay, human capital focuses on employment, skilling, workforce. How AI can make it, more safer. How can we make governance more transparent? How can we, reflect upon our, languages and culture, and resource efficient AI adaptable to the local needs. How can we make, AI more and more responsible and help us in developing new medicines, and how can we ensure AI and its technology to so that even common man, poor people can also access it. That is equitable access. All right. So these are the seven themes, and again, discuss. They will not ask you anything specific, but you should remember that India is emerging, and in what way it can contribute towards national development. Then comes, all right, gentlemen. See here, if I want to import as such, see here, if I want to import certain things, okay, for example, oil. All right. The government will permit me to buy this oil only for the purpose that I will export it by processing it. All right. Only then I will be giving you certain concessions in terms of taxes, in terms of custom duty, in terms of cess, etc. All right. You will be provided all the exemption given that you are going to export this particular after processing. All right, this is called advanced authorization scheme. Important, important, important. All right, why it is done? It seems that we can go. The government can encourage more value addition and employment creation. All right, and this is provided by whom? Directorate General of Foreign Trade. Okay, again important office. It comes under the Ministry of Trade. All right, now uh, coming back to okay. So let's continue with the discussion. Okay, it comes under Ministry of Commerce, Ministry of Commerce and Industries. थोड़ा सा ओके देखिए okay. So it comes under Director General of Foreign Trade comes under Ministry of Commerce. ठीक है? All right. Now, so uh, but it seems that see in India we don't allow direct import of coking coal. All right, coking coal matlab coal which is used as an ingredient for the manufacture of steel. All right, so India allowed import of coking coal so that steel can be manufactured and exported. Okay, but it seems that many domestic manufacturing, many steel which is being sent even for domestic industries are also using coking coal, and India does not want to encourage import of this coking coal because one thing we want to bring domestic sustenance. All right, then. All right, gentlemen, we are coming up very close. Maternal mortality. All right, if any woman within 40 days, 42 days of pregnancy, all right, or termination of pregnancy, all right, if she dies because of lack of sufficient healthcare mechanisms, then it is counted as maternal mortality. And how many such deaths happen? Okay, for every 1,000 live births in India, it is 9 per 1 lakh deaths. All right, but so India's already achieved. All right, the target was okay 70. All right, India's overall has achieved, and some states, okay, that is Puducherry became the first union territory to achieve zero mortality. This is not important, but super duper important. All right, I say factual question आया है UPSC prelims में. All right, maritime autonomous services, sorry, ships, मतलब if it is like a driverless car. All right, completely automated, you can drive from anywhere, or you tell the ships, you program the ship and allow it. Okay, it will start commuting itself without any help. That is called autonomous surface ships. And in this project, all right, because it is India's first indigenous autonomous vessel, that is Project Swayat. Okay, super duper important, because there are various categories of autonomy. All right, for example, ships with fully automated ships, remote control ships, okay, and remotely controlled ships with seafarers on board. This is not required, but just look at Project Swayat. Important. Then comes, gentlemen, blue ports. So what are blue ports? They are environmentally, okay, economically very sustainable, ports. All right, sustainable ports. And the Food and Agriculture Organization and India, they want to develop certain ports. And sir, what are these ports? Wanakabaru, that is small port. Then Karaikal port in Puducherry, Jakwa port in Gujarat. Sir, are they important? Yes, because they are in news. Okay, India has almost 12 major ports and more than 200 minor ports. So these major ports are controlled by the central government, minor ports are controlled by the state governments. All right, so this becomes important because it has appeared in the current affairs. All right, then, then see a small uh, group of islands called UAE. So UAE has, okay, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Ajman. All right. So all these Sharjah, etc. Right. That's collectively it is called United Arab Emirates. And India has, has had a high-level task force. Okay, that is why we have met together. But as such, you need to know about the geography and Generally, it is a Middle East. Definitely, they will not ask you discuss write a note on India, UAE, because UAE is a very small country. It can't be highly influential vis-a-vis India. All right, gentlemen. Thanks for your time. God bless you.